Down a two-lane road where the cotton fields sway, where handshakes, hard work, and a porch light that stays. From Lawrenceburg sunsets to Alabama's line, we help folks find roots in the sweet southern pines. You're not just a number, not just a key. Your family here with Flora Mid-South Realty. We're selling more than just four walls and a door. It's Sunday front porches and creeks in the floor. Dreams built on back roads under Tennessee skies, where every new start feels like home in your eyes. If you're searching for home, you ain't gotta roam. Call Flora Mid-South Realty, where the heart finds home.
Have you been staring at me? Good morning. You are listening to Flora Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Today is August 12th, and it is 8:03, and we're going to have a good show. Our topic today is why a strong foundation matters. Why a strong foundation matters in life and in real estate. So stay tuned.
The boots on the gravel, the soul of this town, and we won't stop till we got your dream locked down. We're selling just four walls and a door. It's Saturday barbecues and kids on the floor. Dreams built on back roads on the Tennessee skies, where every new start feels like home in your eyes. If you're searching for home, you ain't got to roam. Come Flora Mid-South, really where the heart finds home. So if you're driving through southern mid-Tennessee, look for that sign with the roots running deep. Flora Mid-South Realty, we're more than a team. We're the heart of your heart.
Good morning. We are back with Flora Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Again, today is August 12th, and we got a great show today. And I've got Holly on this side. I've got Pat on this side. I got Nathan in the corner with the dunce cap on. And we got Kyle back. Kyle's back from his 2-week-long vacation. So, welcome back. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How was everybody? Or how is everyone?
Good. Tired this morning.
I'll let you know how I am today tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a good idea.
All right. I can tell we're going to have a real chippy show today. So stay tuned. So, Kyle, how was your vacation?
I was interesting. I didn't know that they did this. We were one of the first families in line for Universal, and they let us be the opening family, which means you get to go into the park and get on the mic, kind of introduce everybody to the park. They open up the gates. It's a real formal thing. My daughter had the little movie screen.
Clicker.
At the end, it was like lights, camera, action. And then everybody came into the park. We got a free photo of any of the rides that we took. They gave us a little QR code, so we combined them all. We got a get by pass.
For the line.
For everybody, for one ride. And then we got into the park 30 minutes early than everybody else.
Wow.
So it was crazy walking the park, and there's not
Nobody.
a soul around.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing that was kind of not so cool about it is the ride still didn't open up for the next 30 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, but you were first on that
We were
ride.
first on that ride. We were standing there for 30
So you
minutes.
really got two first. You really got
Yeah.
two skip the lines.
Absolutely. But we needed it. I mean,
Everybody wants to know, which ride did you guys go first?
the Transformers. Andrew
Okay.
wouldn't let us do anything else. We had to walk all the way past other rides to get to Transformers.
Oh, I figured it'd been like, because the main ones is like the box. What is that? The motorcycle ones?
That's a Hagrid.
Hagrid.
That's over at
whatever.
Islands
Yeah.
of Adventure. This is on Universal side.
Yeah.
So this is the more movie stuff. That's the part I didn't like. So they got one roller coaster that they're getting ready to tear down in like 2 weeks. It's been up for 14 years. Evidently, that's the lifespan of a roller coaster. They're going to put another one in, but it's going to take about a year and a half. All the other rides were kind of like virtual reality or screen type with a car that was kind of like on a track, but it didn't do what a roller coaster did. So it had the ability of topping and turning, spraying some water in your face, and it just had the screens around. That was pretty cool for the Transformers, but I get a little bit of motion sickness. So most of the rides, I closed my eyes and was like, nope, not doing this one.
Yeah.
That's gonna be me when we ever go to Universal. I'll have to be that way because that'll make me.
I highly advise if you like rides, go to Islands Adventure. It's
Oh,
more,
we're
more
going to
roller
do both.
coasters.
We're going to do the Harry Potter experience.
That's the biggest thing is we want to do the Harry Potter one.
Yeah.
There's a Harry Potter one also in Universal Studios, which God bless the woman that
Did you
they
get
had
to
out
go
there.
to the new part?
Yes.
Nice. How was that?
It's nice, but like the Harry Potter one, I felt so bad for one of the ladies that worked there. She's in a full-blown 3-piece suit with an overcoat, like the old London like train station person. It's like 96 degrees with like 100% humidity. It like sucked the soul out of you by like 10 a.m. And she's out there with a smile on her face the whole time, greeting people. I could not believe
It
somebody.
may have air conditioning on the inside or fans or
she's,
something.
she's standing on the outside just in front of the door.
No, I
in the
mean
heat on the
inside
asphalt.
or clothes.
Oh, I didn't
Well,
know that.
but military
That would
uniforms are made like this too, to where if you're in the military uniform, it's kind of the same principle. It's made for you to sweat because once you sweat and then a breeze comes through, it cools your body off. That's why military uniforms are made the way they are.
I would say she's probably got some kind of ventilation in there.
I would say that she's just sucking it up and loving life, working at Universal.
Either or. You couldn't pay me enough.
No.
I was thinking
Talking about paying enough, we watched this. Well, somebody watched it, David, and I just happened to be in my chair and TV's in front of me. But those ice truckers,
Yes.
that is crazy.
Not a chance.
Crazy how they don't fly. The TV makes it look like they're flying across that ice. They don't. It's 15 kilometers, which 15 kilometers is, I forget, 12 miles an hour, or I mean it's very, very slow, and that's why it takes them so long to get from point A to point B. And but that's just crazy that what they do, and it's 3 months long, and the guy that it's called Dash for the Cash, and the guy that won, that hauled the most runs, he won like $48,000 in 3 months.
That's it.
He
I
won.
know. That was my exact
Because you gonna put your
feeling.
life on the line?
I thought, that's it for 3 months. I mean, it's a lot of money, but no.
Well,
I don't, and then I don't know how old the show is. I mean, that could have been 10 years ago.
oh, it doesn't matter though. Like they did an interview with one of the guys, and I can't remember if he broke down or what happened, but basically he was calm as a cucumber talking about, yeah, I'm just gonna stay with the truck because I'd rather go in the ice. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like that's death. Like, why would you not get away? He's like, I'm 3.5 hours from anybody getting to me at where we're at right now. If I was to make the call right now, you fall into ice water, you're done.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have to go now. They have to go buddy system. You're not allowed to go out on the ice alone. So you have to. They have to go two, and they have to be 20 minutes apart or so many kilometers apart, and then they have to go like, I don't know, let's say 10 miles an hour, because what happens is if they go faster, it creates a wake underneath that ice, and then that wake that eats out the ice and starts to decay the ice from the inside out. It's crazy.
See, I would not be the good buddy. If I saw you in front of me fall, I'm turning around the hole and going, I am not getting close to that hole in the ice. Sorry about your luck, buddy.
I know. But anyway, so that was
Well,
was
deadliest
different.
deadliest catch is a lot worse too.
That
Yeah.
one, I just can't understand how people can keep their balance the way they do on that show. Like
Yeah.
even the cameraman, that boat is all over the place.
That's one. Mike Rowe would do dirty jobs. He said he would not do that one.
Wow.
Definitely not be on the boat for deadliest catch.
I could see that.
That's one in my mind. I'd be like, I could do it. I don't know why. I've always thought that. It's just a lot of work.
You
Uh,
sleep like a baby when
it's-
you're not working.
Yeah.
It's a lot of ice, and you could go over, and you're toast. If they don't get to you within a certain amount of time, you're gone.
Well, you keep your butt on the boat. You'll be all right.
Well, a lot of times you can't have it. That rope gets wrapped around your leg and takes you over. I mean, there's a lot of hazards on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I'd go out fishing, not in them waves. Not when it's on a, what is it? I don't know how big those boats are, 50-foot, 80-foot boat, 100-foot boat, and they're standing up because of the waves. No,
Well,
I did that. I did that in a 28-foot center console fishing boat. We left Fort Pierce, Florida, and headed over to the Bahamas. And we got over to Green Turtle Islands and stayed a week. And then on the way back, we caught a storm. And I kid you not, we were behind. The driver was in his seat, and then I was holding on to the center console seat, and it doesn't have benches or anything. It's bean bags. So we're sitting on bean bags, and we're literally having to hold on so we don't slide to the bottom of the boat. It was crazy, and of course I'm crying. I gotta get off this damn boat. They need to call a helicopter and come and get me. Well, we fought the storm, and we couldn't get across. We couldn't get through to the other side. So what do? We'd turn around and go right back through it again. And ended up over in Walker's Island in Bahamas. Got the last hotel room. And because everybody was stranded because of the storm, we were the only idiots that tried to go through it. And so we get to Walker's, and when we got there and we docked the boat, there was 8 of us on the boat. You could take your hand and peel the salt off of you. It was the craziest thing. So I get a shower, and I'm taking some major medication and adult beverages and eat, and then I went to sleep. And I told him, I said, look, I ain't getting on that boat. And my ex-husband says, well, how you getting home? I said, I don't give a shit. Better get a plane, because I'm not going home on that boat. And I did not, and they had to come and get me on the plane. So the friend that had the boat, he chartered the airplane, and one of them little 3-seaters or whatever come and got me. And that's how I went back home. I wasn't getting on that boat.
Absolutely.
It was the craziest experience of my life. That was. And I don't think I've been out on a boat and deep sea fishing since. Well, of course, I moved and got a divorce, and a lot of things happened, but
I'm surprised you went on a cruise with us then.
That's different. I mean, that's not a
Not
28.
unless you get a rogue wave.
Yeah. That's different. Being in a little 28-foot, or I mean, somewhere around in there. I'm not real sure the size. It's huge. It's enough for, there were 7 of us, 7 adults, coolers, bean bags, and fishing equipment, and
Y'all
all
could have
that.
died that day.
We
Really.
had, we had 2 deep sea fishing poles where the automatics, and it just falls down. And you think, how fun would that be? Like when you're holding a rod or watching a rod, and you can feel that fish hit it, and you can feel when he grabs it and runs with it. And I'm thinking, with these automatic deep dive poles, how are you going to feel anything? And it's the same. You can feel them hit. And then you can see it bend the pole, and then they just take off. And then you just hit the button, and it locks it. And then you hit the other button, and you bring it up from the bottom. Because we were in 100 feet of water, and there's no way I could have done 100 feet of water. And you figured they run. So they're 100 foot deep, 100 foot away. I'd have been dead trying to reel in this fish. But then, I mean, we were catching grouper. I mean, nice. We caught a dolphin. A dolphin.
A mahi.
Huh?
A mahi.
A mahi. We caught that. We caught a tuna. We caught a 68-pound tuna.
Ooh.
We cut it up right then and ate it sushi grade.
Absolutely.
That was some good eating. But anyway, that was fun. That was an experience.
If I ever do something like that, I want to use that new little device they have. It's like a little black box that goes just in front of your lure. And I don't know if there's a line that's in the line or whether
Oh, the camera?
The camera.
Yes,
Watch
I've seen
the fish
that.
come up and
Yeah.
grab that thing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
So
I don't.
basically-
It's wireless.
Basically, underneath your reel, you've got a flip camera
Mhm.
now. And so as you're reeling, you can watch what it looks like facing away from you at the lure as you're bringing it through the water, so you'll see the fish come up and
Huh.
grab it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's meant for when you're like bass fishing or something that
Yeah.
you're like actually moving the bait and all that, and then you just watch the fish come up and try to strike it, and then it just
I
gives
don't
you.
really like freshwater fishing though. I
do.
love saltwater
Stop it.
fishing. I just really do.
I think I hung up on them.
But anyway, enough of that. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was great. I performed a wedding at our lake.
Yes, you did.
Yay!
Woo!
It was a beautiful wedding. It really was. They did the tie the knot ceremony.
We
When you
did
say
that.
you did the wedding, did you like it?
Officiated.
Officiated it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's married several people.
So yeah, I officiated it, signed their marriage license, and they are married.
Sell fireworks and all sorts of stuff. Every time we do a show, I find out something new about you.
All three of us can do that.
Really?
Yeah, we're notaries.
Notary.
Notaries.
Ah.
See, go get your notary's license. You can marry
Nope,
people.
don't want that responsibility. I just found out how tough it can be. I have somebody in Knoxville who's in a title company that has one, and she has been called up for a jury duty. And every day she's got to call in for the next 2 weeks and whatnot. I was like, why don't you just get out of it? Why don't you say, what do you think the penalty should be for stealing? Death penalty. They're going to throw you out. She was like, I could lose my notary for playing those types of games. I was like, never getting a notary. Noted.
I've been called in 3 times for jury duty and have gotten out of it every time.
I've never.
You
Had
better
my
knock
number
hard. You better knock
called.
with both.
But
haven't-
I'm okay
I've
now
never
if
had
I
mine
do.
called
I
either.
couldn't. I had kids in, and so I couldn't.
I've always wanted to be on a jury.
See, I'd want to be on a jury if it was intense.
I'll be on
Like,
the grand jury.
I want something like an O.J. Simpson case or something like that where there's just a plethora of detail. Both sides
Oh.
are fighting over who's guilty, who's
When
not.
you get into a lot of boring stuff.
That's
on
the part I
that,
don't want to deal with
Yeah.
because I will go to sleep right there in front of the judge.
Because they talk about all of this technical stuff
Mhm.
and medical stuff and things like that. And it's
That would bore me. Or one of those car accident ones where they're claiming fault on an insurance company or another individual and whatnot. Bore me to death. Do not sit me in a courtroom for hours listening to that stuff. I'll fall asleep.
Yeah. He's over there still chatting about Reynolds.
Hey, see, we got Reynolds.
yeah,
Give us a call.
yeah, we got Reynolds. But yeah, so that was my weekend. I haven't got to fish a lot because of my finger. So
What'd you do?
Got it screwed.
I got it screwed.
Seriously.
There's a hole at the end of my finger.
Sorry about that. I'm
What
back.
were you
Sorry.
working on?
Huh?
What were you working on?
It was called a carbuncle
Carbuncle knuckle.
carbuncle cyst. And it's where the fluid comes out at the joint. The
Mhm.
fluid between your joints starts coming out. And I'm left-handed, and it was very painful because it was on that one.
So it was a self-medicated?
No, she didn't screw. She didn't drive the screw in herself. No,
Okay.
she had the doctor
It's
kind of drive it
surgical.
in.
Yeah.
Well, I started out self-medicating, and that's what caused it to be so bad. Because it come up as a blister, and I started messing with it and everything, and that irritated it, and it's just blew up like that.
You've almost at least got to try the first time. I mean, with the way medical
Yeah.
insurance is these days, like,
Well,
if
he
you
went
can do it
in.
yourself, you could save yourself quite a few $100s.
He went in
No
and
joke.
scraped it and everything, and cauterized it, and then 2 months later, it was back. And he said the only thing to do is for us to go in there and clean it all out, and then put a screw down in there.
So you actually have the screw in there.
Yes.
Will you show them the finger that
So,
the screws in?
Whenever I
That she
say, whenever I say something like that, I mean, I literally have a screw in there.
That's crazy that was the remedy.
Well, maybe in
know.
a few years we'll be like, now you got to screw loose in there.
Well, it'll probably be loose, and I'll have to take it out. So yeah. But yeah, there is. It looks huge on the X-ray. He said, "I promise you, it's not that big." So, but yeah, I got a little hole there, and
How's it healing? Is it healing up pretty good?
Yeah, it's still swollen and it still hurts. It's touchy.
Doesn't look like it's bruised real bad though.
Oh,
Anymore.
it was. It's really bruised right here. I don't know what they done to my hand to hold it still, but it's really sore and bruised there.
Hmm.
So I guess they put it in a vise. You know how you're
Yeah.
working on stuff? You put it in a vise and you hold it real tight, and that's what they do.
That's probably what they used. The actual vice.
Were you asleep during it?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yes, that was a deep sleep.
Sleeps.
I hate coming out of
I
it
hate coming
sleep
out
Me
of it.
too.
because I
awful.
come out. I don't
I've never
come out
been
of
under
it real easy.
anesthesia.
I mean, this, like, if they put me under for, let's say, 30 minutes to do a procedure, I'll be 7 or 8 hours waking up. I mean, I just don't wake up. And when I do wake up, I am sobbing. I mean, crying every time. Big tears, that kind of cry. I mean, it's just, I hate it. I hate it, hate it, hate it.
I loved it. Like for me, I had a inguinal hernia surgery,
Mm.
and they put me out and they woke me up, and I feel like I got the best sleep in the world, but I didn't get nearly enough. I was like, they were like, you need to get up, walk around, and use the restroom. I was like, absolutely not. I'm staying here for the afternoon. I paid for the room. Get out.
That's what I did. It was an outpatient thing, and I said, "Man, y'all woke me up."
Now I understand why Michael Jackson was doing that so heavily. I mean, you know, he's up for many a days practicing for that new tour, and he had his doctor knock him out that way. I mean, what a crazy sleep if you can get 8 hours of that type of deep
Yeah.
sleep.
If you can wake up.
Well, that was the problem on the last one.
Yeah.
Really got
But-
a little bit too much.
A little too much.
Too much juice.
But I don't know. I don't like it. I mean, and it's just, I don't know why I have such a hard time waking up after it. It just keeps me down.
When you say you cry, is it like a if somebody was to come up and like shake you awake and it's like that anxiety and whatnot?
I have no
it's
idea.
probably deep emotional trauma crying that she's
It
probably
is.
replaying in her mind as she's sleeping and doesn't realize it, and
Oh,
then
I didn't
she'll
even think about
she'll
that. You
wake
could
up.
go through
Oh yeah, I
different
bet.
thought processes.
It's
with
kind of
that
like
too.
peyote. I would assume it's kind of like peyote.
Never heard of it.
But seriously? Okay, I get it.
Uh-huh. I read about it. No, but it is. It's been every time. It's not like one little freaky
So
time.
it's consistent.
It's every time that I start to wake. I don't know if they're waking me up. You know, my mom was when she was alive, she would be at, no matter where I lived and I had to have surgery, she was always there. And she would always tell me, the last thing that she would tell me before I'd go into surgery would be, don't forget, when you start to wake up, breathe deep and get all that out of you. So I'm going, you know, and I'm trying to breathe deep and I'm crying and, oh, it's awful. I hate it. Hate it.
That's a good
Right.
mom.
You
Be
have
there
a-
for all of your surgeries.
You have a good cry though.
Yeah, but to me, it's not a good sleep because I'm so exhausted afterwards. And then I'm emotionally drained for whatever reason. And it's awful.
Bad
you know,
feeling.
awful. So anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on. All right, Nathan.
All right. Looks like there's a Bible verse this week. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. Matthew 7:25. We were just talking about that about 2-3 weeks ago at church. Building your foundation on the rock instead of sand.
Yeah. Sand is not your friend.
And it kind of relates to real estate on that front too. It's like,
Mhm.
you know, you always want to have a solid foundation.
That's why, you know, a lot of
Because storms will come in your life.
The Three
And
Little
if
Pigs
you're-
story is true.
Fair enough.
and that's
It
why
is.
men have big feet. It's a good foundation.
I almost dirtied up this mic with coffee.
Well, you got to have a good foundation to stand on. So there you go.
So men just need that?
Well, some women need big feet too. So don't marry a man that's got small feet.
You're out of luck.
I'm a 12. Calm down.
Oh, do you wear a size 12?
Yeah, he's got big feet.
David wears a 15.
Oh, that boy can't find shoes in a lot of spots.
No.
What size shoe you wear?
12.
12. There you go. That's a good size.
It's the manufactured largest size for men, but it's still hard to find because everybody wears 12s.
I've never really had too much of an issue finding them. I don't know why.
There was a guy that sold women's shoes online, and he said his best sellers was the bigger sizes.
Is that
Online
for
would be.
men wearing high heels?
That was men buying
Oh.
the shoe.
I got that real quick.
Yep, he said those were his best sellers.
Mm.
Well,
I wore high heels once.
My two best friends, they have big feet. They have bigger feet, and they have a better option, I feel like, of shoes than I do.
I wore high heels once, and then I burnt my hand on a kerosene heater
Mm-hmm.
when I was like 5, 6.
Okay, that sounds so much better until now. You better continue that story.
When I was 5, I wore high heels.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I picture you in high heels now. So it's like, yeah, that's not a pretty image, babe.
I will tell you that my son, he does plays, and he has cross-dressed, as being a woman, and playing 2 parts. One is a man. He has to go and get ready for a woman's part. He makes a pretty woman. He really does.
Sure,
He
he's
really-
loving that.
I mean, he does. He is a pretty woman. So, and he's a handsome man, but he's a pretty woman.
That's so funny.
Okay, on that note, Pat, what's on our calendar?
Because he was in one and he was doing his twirl and he was just twirling around and his dress was coming out and everything. And he was having so much fun.
Sorry, Michael.
Okay.
You know, it's your mother.
Yes, yes. He tells me I'm weird anyway, so there you go. Okay, for your community events this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12:30 to 5 p.m. is the Plowboy Produce Auction at 469 South Brace Road.
That'll
Are
start
they
winding
paying you
down.
to say that? Because that seems like
Well,
every time.
it's through October, and it's
Right.
an event that a lot of people go to. They're having a fall consignment sale too, and that's pretty.
When
big.
is
That'll be
the
October.
Yeah,
the cedar furniture sale?
That's the
that's the
Like
fall
consignment?
consignment
Oh,
sale.
okay.
that's the big Amish auction in October,
Okay.
Okay.
and they have everything.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
And this weekend is the big 29th annual Crossroads of Dixie Antique Tractor and Engine Show at Rotary Park. It's Friday and Saturday. Gates open at 7 a.m. Wheeling in the Country at 128 Anderson Creek Road, the 15th through the 17th. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the Lawrenceburg Farmers Market. Davy Crockett State Park, August 15th. They were having a dinner theater, but it's sold out. Both things
nights.
have sold out. It was, yeah. And they're
See,
having,
I knew I seen something about the dinner theater, babe.
yeah, and it's sold out both nights. And then they're having a thing about venomous snakes. The 16th is Pioneer Games, Run with a Ranger, and Tales to Trails hike. August the 17th is Animal Senses and a tour of the Davy Crockett Museum. You can contact the park at 931-903-2323 for more information. Friday from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., Loretta Farmers Market at Weathers Park at 202 West Commerce Street. And August the 12th through the 13th is a Perseid meteor shower. So the best time to see that is after midnight. And then August the 14th, which is Thursday, I believe, at 9 a.m., the zoning board is meeting. If you have an issue that you want to say about it, it's rezoning the west side of East Scott and north side of Fred Street from an R2, a low R2, to a medium R3 to allow property to be subdivided for higher density of single-family housing. It's meeting at the council meeting room, Lawrenceburg Municipal Complex at 25 Public Square. And they're also having one about the south side of Crescent Factory and the east side of Windsor Avenue, the west side of High Avenue.
Where's that at? Where's the first one? North side of what? Fred Street. Where is Fred Street?
I don't know. East Scott. They're trying to change all of this. They're doing single family and multifamily housing, so they're fixing to build some more.
I mean, that's a thing that they want to do. You know, there's these lots out here with these houses that are really decrepit that needed rehabbing, and so instead of just rehabbing the single family home, they're going to knock them down and put duplexes and triplexes.
This
and-
is undeveloped land and zoned for something else. They want to rezone to build new.
Oh, okay.
A low R2 to a medium R3.
Yeah.
Higher density of single family housing. So it could be apartment buildings.
Oh, it's lot sizes. That's what it is. It's about lot sizes.
So,
And
if
change
you-
the zoning, change the code.
It's by South Military Ave, kind of near Lafayette Ave,
Okay.
just northwest.
So there's
of that.
Over there
apartments
by
over
the
there
lot.
anyway.
The library.
There's
In that area.
apartments over that way anyway,
Yeah.
in that curve.
Mhm.
So if you oppose it, go sit in on the meeting and voice your opinion.
Why would anybody want to oppose it?
Traffic, a lot of traffic, and sometimes they want to put in.
Would
Some
you
of
want to
these-
live beside an apartment complex?
No.
If you already own a house there and they're going to tear down beside it, would you want them to build a big apartment complex right beside you?
Maybe Florida and South can manage it.
No.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some people oppose a lot of this. So
Yeah, we bought our house with the idea that the front yard was going to be a beautiful sunrise. All we had was farmland, and then they built 13 houses across the street.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that raises your property value.
My
Who cares?
property value was raised by that sunset that's happening.
Absolutely.
it depends on your definition of property value. I mean,
Monetary. That's it. Monetary.
Privacy is a big benefit to a lot of people.
Mm.
Now, I will give them kudos. When we came back, we did a whole lot of shooting. They're all troopers. None of them called the cops. I mean,
scared
a
too.
lot
Yeah.
of shooting. Grandpa came in, son was shooting, I was shooting. I mean, there was probably like 3 or 4 of us shooting all at the same time. Must sound like a small little war zone. And none of the new neighbors had an issue with it.
That's like the
That's good.
firing range out on in Murray County. It's not Top Gun. It's the other one up there on Williams Hollow Road. It's right across from these houses.
It's an outside range.
Yes. Yes. So
I might have to go check that out.
And I know when you go into Columbia, like Mount Pleasant, going into Columbia, there's a huge piece of land, and across the road, there's a big sign that says "Say no to 230 something houses" with a big arrow pointing across the road.
200, how many?
230 something houses, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You don't,
236.
you don't normally see a project that size
Well,
go up anymore.
we had 2 of them going here. We had one over there by Schaefer's Market, the meat market, right in front of Schaefer's. That was all getting cleared out, and that was all going to be a huge subdivision. And
Are you talking about like as you're heading to Schaefer's, it's on the left?
it's before
Schaefer's?
Where they have the apple orchard now, the orchard now, or
on
whatever.
43, where
Which direction you headed?
Von Staggs Road. Von Stagg, you have to turn down Von Staggs.
okay.
Schaefer's is on this side, and this big field is on that side. It was in that big field, and they were in the process of cleaning it all out and getting ready to start building. And the guy that was doing that, who bought it and was developing it, passed away unexpectedly. But that was going to be a huge
Oh.
develop. They talked about a planned unit development, like down in Florida, where you've got your stores and your, all that kind of stuff all in this
PUD.
little area. So,
like commune living.
yeah, basically. All right. Is that
And those are your community events for the week.
thanks, Pat? All right, my section, numbers aren't sexy, but they tell a story. We kind of have the same kind of numbers. Right now, we've got 222 listings with an average list price of $370,582, which is about $201 a square. Coming soon, just not quite ready to open it out to the market yet. We've got 5 of those with an average list price of $538,000. Oh no, that's wrong. $523,780, which is about $162 a square. Under contract showing, that means that we have listings out there with contracts, but the seller is permitting showings and backup offers. We have 6 of those with an average list price of $295,800 with a square foot price of $153. Under contract not showing, we got some happy buyer, happy sellers, and we are headed to close. We have 2 of those. Get this, an average list price of $187,000 and a square foot price of $154. We had 1 expired and 2 canceled. Last week, remember these are last week's numbers for a week, and for our area only, Lawrence County, we had 11 closings with an average sold price of $340,900, which was a square foot price of $199,000. The number I tell everybody to pay attention to is the list price versus the sale price. Sellers were getting 95.78%, and that's 2 weeks in a row. We've been in the mid to low 90s. From the time we put the sign in the yard till we went under contract took 59 days. From the time we went under contract till we closed took additional 31. So all in all, last week it took about 90 days from start to finish. This time last year we had 12 closings with an average sold price of $275,642, which gave you a 168 square foot price. List price to sell price was $97.84, so a little higher than what we were this year. Inventory, right now our inventory is up. We have 5.66 months of inventory. So if nothing else comes on the market, we sell what we have. In about 6 months, we'd be out of anything to sell and we'd be homeless. Rates, interest rates, that's always a big thing people worry about, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't have to worry about interest rates because that's not the name of the game. But anyway, interest rates for a 30-year fixed is 6.58. Remember, interest rates are based on you and what you look like financially on paper. The 30-year fixed rate has up. A 30-year FHA is 6.14. A 30-year VA is 6.15. And a 30-year USDA is 5.88%. All 3 of those are down from last week. The numbers are brought to you by Mortgage News Daily. And those, my friends, are your numbers, because numbers aren't sexy, but they do tell a story. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Yay, numbers!
All right, Kyle. Are we back to work yet? Are we still in vacation mode?
No, I was
Where
back
we
to
at?
work as of Saturday at 10:30 at night when we got into town.
Oh.
There's a lot of stuff that's taken place over the last 2 weeks that can't say it's worth writing home about, but it's all starting to paint the picture in the right direction. So we have a new Fed governor Trump has put in. Jerome Powell is going to be stepping down here at some point, but the main thing
Voluntarily,
more than likely. I don't think Trump's going to.
Or is this an ask for resignation?
No, I don't think so either.
His contract's up.
Yeah, his contract's up. His timeline's done. I don't think Trump is dumb enough to get into that mix, because if he forces him out and the market doesn't move well due to tariffs, then it will blow back on Trump all day long. But market conditions are market conditions if you leave them alone, and you can call them what they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he can work on the GDP, he can work on, the stock market, he can work in a lot of different areas that interest rates do not affect, and still have all of his wins. So I don't think he's going to get in there early. But the biggest part is 2 of the Fed members that vote have actually broke away from Jerome Powell and said this last meeting in July, they should have made cuts, and they agree with cuts. The new Fed
That's good.
member that's coming in has already said, based on inflationary data and other items, which they do review CPI this week, it's one of their favorite measures of inflation, that they're thinking we should at least have 3 cuts this year of at least 75
This
basis
year?
Yes, of at least 75 basis points. So 3/4 of a point in the Fed funds rate
Total or each?
total. So we're talking 25 per move.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the first one is going to be astonishingly market moving, but the consistency of a follow-up meeting with 25 basis points should be something that should tell the community that, hey, look, we're not testing the waters. We're not kind of just seeing how this looks with tariffs and other trade negotiations. We feel like we're hitting our mark well, and so we did it again. Now, if they go above 25 basis points on their first move, that'll immediately start public perception of, hey, look, we've got inflation under control. And that's going to move people back into the bond market where it's a little bit more of a safer investment for your money.
It's just money's cheaper.
And that's the concern, is you don't want inflation to outpace your money when your money's in something for a very long time with almost a finite fixed interest of gain. If inflation outpaces your dollar, by the time you get to draw on that dollar, you have less money.
Mm-hmm.
And so why would you make that investment?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're starting to move. Another good thing, I don't ever like seeing a president step in to certain organizations, but firing the commissioner of the BLS was spot on. This is an organization for years that have put out jobs related data that markets move on and have consistently been wicked out of the box. We're talking, I think it was from March to March, may have been May to May, that they were off by 800 and something thousand jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So every time they made a post, which is what makes the market move, the headliner of it, they still have 2 months behind that they can do revisions and get it into its final resting place, just like we do with GDP. They were consistently saying we created, say, 177,000 jobs with a goal of 144, and then they would reduce it 50,000, reduce it 50,000. Had they posted that we were only creating 77,000 jobs versus 177 on a goal of 144, the market would have reacted appropriately, and we would be in a better interest rate environment today.
Mm-hmm.
So the lack of trust in that data, we could see it because one of the other qualifiers is ADP. ADP is a huge payroll system across the nation. And so they have a pulse on how often people are quitting their job, leaving their job, getting fired. And then you quantify that with unemployment numbers and then continued unemployment claims. You saw a completely different picture on their side, but knowing that they were only looking at data that ADP has their hands in, everybody kept trusting BLS.
Yeah.
Because BLS was a little bit more of a capture of the market. And so we're starting to find out now here in retrospect, ADP was a lot closer than BLS, and everybody's making choices in the market based on BLS. So
That'd
we'll see.
be good.
We'll see if this new commissioner
means
goes
that
in can
3 times before the end of the year. So that's either 1 before the final quarter of the year and then 2 in the quarter.
That is correct.
So that'll help with hopefully help with December sales too.
That is generally the consensus of that. You're looking at high interest rate environment. Purchasers are going to have refinance opportunities, and then people who have been sitting on the fence and just maybe didn't find the best opportunity for the cost per month are now going to find a little bit more relief in that, and we may see a different than normal seasonal November through December into January type opportunities for home sales.
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good as long as we don't go stupidly low. I do not, I don't want to go down in the 3s or the 4 or 2s and go back into that
takes
market.
a pandemic. That's never going to happen.
So
That
I
takes a
hope we
pandemic.
don't go that far down.
Yes and no. So it's a little different.
It was low even before the pandemic.
Yeah. So what took place there is the 10 and 30-year spread was so good. And to put it in layman's terms, when the spread is good, you're making more money. It was so good that us standard Americans were investing. You had the Fed that was already buying back more bonds and treasuries themselves, so they were kind of like cooking the books because of the way that the debt was. But Japan was involved in our market heavily. When you have another country that's deciding, hey, look, this is a really good investment opportunity for us, how much do you know, Japan's not going in and saying, oh, we're just going to put $100,000.
Right.
They're going in and they're putting some serious leverage on that market. And that, until we get to something like that again, where the stars align, everything's looking great, inflation, all the things for quite some time, and then have another country in, I don't see us going much lower than an operating rate of about 4 flat. But we're probably going to be playing in 4 and 4.75, and that's a healthy market. You will have the opportunity to buy down into the 3s. And maybe we have a unique situation where maybe in the next 10 years, we'll have a 6-month period where we do have a 3 in front of stuff, but it's going to come right back up. And I think 4 is a really natural market. It's enough for the banks to make money to where they're not killing the consumer, and it's not low enough to where the banks are finding other strategies and portfolios to make money. Because you think about right now, anybody who has a 2.25% interest rate and they're on their last 5 years worth of payment, it's an amortized loan. So most of the interest was paid out front. They're going to probably settle some of that debt because they're going to lose money by paying somebody to constantly worry about getting the payment in, manage it and whatnot. So you're going to get down to the last 25,000 and be like, hey man, if you can get us 10 grand, we'll go ahead and wipe the rest of it. Call it good.
I would be, if
Well, 'cause
I
they
was
need to
that
get them off
person,
the books.
if I was that person in that situation, I'd be approaching the bank and saying, look, you know, let's do a deal.
Yeah.
And try to put that out on the table.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, they're making next to nothing on the back end of the loan in interest payments, and it was already set at 2.25.
Right. So it's costing them money to hold that note.
More
right,
or
to
less.
finish it out.
Yeah.
So that would be smart for the bank to settle and be done. And for the buyer then, because then the buyer or the homeowner saves a few bucks. So. All right, any new programs?
Yes, we are going to shortly talk about appraisal assurance. So my company will do an upfront in-house appraisal, even on the weekends, about 3-hour turnaround. Guarantee the appraisal, so the appraisal is not in the offer. Requires at least a 10% down conventional, but in the event that the number, because we do get an appraisal, but it's not subject to closing based on the appraisal. If the appraisal is slightly off, my company will actually pay the single payment PMI to bring it back in line so they close out their loan and they're not bringing anything different to the table. But that way the appraisal does not ever hold up anything. We're guaranteeing a specific price point.
So we can make an offer not contingent on appraisal.
Correct.
Make a stronger offer and maybe get a better deal that way. All right, cool. Can't wait to hear more about that.
It's a fun one.
All right, Holly, what do we got?
Real estate vocabulary foundation, the underlying base or support for a structure in life. It's the core beliefs, values, and principles that guide decisions and actions.
ChatGPT, I told it today was podcast day, and to pick a vocabulary word, a myth, a quote, and this is what he came up with.
That's pretty cool.
He did great. So yes, the foundation is very important. Make sure your foundation is solid, and your home, a home inspector will look at your foundations inside and out, usually either crawling around or we've got one who takes a little drone through there, little car, truck, tank, whatever it is.
It looks like a tank.
And he'll drive around and do videos of your crawl space. And even if you're a homeowner not thinking about selling, when was the last time you were in your crawl space? There's things that happen under there that you may need to be aware of. And if you have never been under there or you haven't sent somebody under there, you might want to, because you just need to check it out. You need to see if anything's growing under there, living under there, rotten floors, rotten floor joists.
Leaks.
Leaks that you've never found.
Yes, leaks that could have been happening for years and you've been paying this high water bill, wondering why. Well, it's probably going in your crawl space. I mean, there's a lot of things that for home maintenance, but I believe that is on the top of the list for home maintenance and taking care of your home. If you can't crawl underneath it, hire somebody that can and really check it out. Make sure that there's no debris under there that causes termites and just all kinds of stuff. So
Or have a boy.
Or what?
or have a boy,
Or have a boy.
and then send his happy butt.
There you go. There
Especially
you
a
go.
skinny boy.
Correct.
Yeah. Some of them, you got to be pretty skinny.
Oh, you just get a
That's
drone.
why I've told them a long time ago, home inspectors, I said, get you a camera and go in there. Well, what if it gets hung? I said, tie something to it and drag it out.
That's what Jeff does. He has one of those little tanks too that goes up underneath there. Well, he got his that has the arm on it so he can move stuff and like maybe like push the wires back out of the way. Well, it's been more of a pain than it has been helpful. He said because it gets stuck, and I was like, he said he about lost it, and I was like, well, put a rope on it. He said, oh, I have one on there.
It's better than coming face to face with a snake.
A python.
I'll let that take.
A
I'll let that
huge
take you.
python under there. That could eat you.
Shoot it.
No,
Yeah.
I don't go under houses. I don't
And
do
you
well.
don't have room to pull your gun out to shoot him.
When we went up underneath the house, the old house, and I sat down there for probably 20 minutes before I was like moved. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Not yet."
We had a family black snake that lived under our house, and I welcomed it, and I didn't mess with it. He sunbathed on our front step and stoop every now and again, and he just lived there. He
Sound-
just existed.
Those are good snakes to
And I
have.
didn't want to go under the house. I don't care if it's a good snake, bad snake. I don't care. It's a
Hey,
snake.
we were under. I was under there together with it, and it just left me alone. I left it alone and just did what I needed to do and got
Sometimes
out.
snakes will leave you alone. I was cleaning out under a building. I mean, I was reaching my hand in there, pulling weeds and everything, getting them out around there. And after I quit and stood up, here comes a copperhead out.
Nope.
Oh, no,
So-
no.
We ran
Now
over a
Nathan's
snake
scared
in-
of spiders.
Yes, yeah, I am. Well, just certain spiders. The
The big-
Black
the
widow.
furry ones.
the big
The
crunchy
ones,
ones.
the furry ones, or the exoskeleton spiders, where I've never heard of them, but when they crunch when you kill them, that's like, yeah, they mean business.
I popped a snake in Georgia
Did
What's
you?
that
while
mean?
we were driving. That bad boy was like that thick.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't turn around to figure out which one it was because I knew if it was that size, I'm not playing around with it. We're gonna keep driving.
I thought you meant you snapped his
I-
head off.
I thought he popped it that way.
No,
No.
I'm
Popped it.
thinking like you whip it like a whip and pop his head off.
No, he was so big that when our tires went over him, he
You
popped.
heard him pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, do truth, myth, and truth. All right.
Myth and truth number 1. Myth: if the outside looks good, the inside must be solid. You gonna do truth?
A beautiful exterior can hide major structural problems. Whether in a home or in life, it's what's underneath that truly matters. As far as the structure for looking good, a lot of times when you buy these homes that have been rehabbed, and I'm not blaming blame to anybody, but you just never know what kind of Band-Aid they'll put on that. And that's why you just got to be careful and make sure that we have a home inspection.
Even new
I have an
houses.
example for you. It's my very first home that I bought. It was a HUD foreclosure, and the bank came in and actually put in money. They redid it all. They knocked down the walls. It was new drywall. All the things looked beautiful. Somebody took the exit pipe, the PVC that lets out the drain water from the AC, and the piping had a gap between it, so they put a C PVC around it and duct taped it. So when the summer came around and the AC was really working hard and really producing water, that closet flooded.
We've had a lot of that is flooding. I don't know from what. A lot of it is the drains have stopped up and the float don't work or something like that, and they're bad.
That was the issue with mine. I didn't get a home inspection, and the home inspector would have caught the electronic gauge. One of the wires had disassembled from that, so it wasn't actually active and working. So that drip pan was not didn't have its safety turn off to turn the AC off because it was.
Well, not only that, those pans, they need to be level. That's really important for that sensor to work properly because it can go either way. I've had issues with units that wasn't level, and it would trip the sensor way early and just shut the whole system down because it wasn't leveled properly. So the water was collecting on the one side, which happened to be where the sensor was, and it would just shut down the whole thing.
That makes sense.
And so it's like really important for that whole drip pan system to be level and clear.
See, but you don't learn these things until there are problems,
Right.
especially as
Right.
a first-time home buyer. So let a professional write the report for you.
Or
so you
it's
learn
or
real
it's in an
quick.
attic of an apartment building that's leaking water into an apartment. That happens too.
It goes all the way downstairs.
Yay. All right, Pat.
Okay, myth and truth number 2. Myth: foundations never fail. The truth is, even the strongest foundation can crack without proper care, maintenance, and attention to warning signs.
True.
Warning signs whenever your block is cracking or
Or protruding out
Yeah,
because
or
it's buckling.
bowing, or it's like, oh wow, looky there. There's a termite, mud trail going up the side. Wonder what that is.
Totally forgot to tell you. We can now do construction, FHA, VA, and USDA construction to perm.
Yay. That's cool.
Totally blanked on that.
That's
Well,
vacation
They'll
mode.
buy the land and finance the build. I believe it's up to 5 draws for the contractor, up to 80% draws until the final draw of the total valuation, and then the turnkey will give at least the last 20 depending on that.
Well, who owns the land during that process? Is it the contractor or your company or the buyer?
It depends. Do they own the land outright now, or are they going to go buy the land?
You go buy the land.
If they're going to go buy the land, then the contractor it's technically owned by the individual that's buying the land, but the contractor is going to be in there as a lien position,
Yeah.
if you will, a mechanic's lien, because you're not to perm yet. You pay interest only with conventional FHA and VA. Interest only payments on the draws. So if you took $60,000 out to buy the land, then you start paying interest on $60,000 until the construction's done, and then as the draws happen, etc. The only one that sucks is USDA. USDA is going to pay principal and interest through the entire build. That's going to be a very challenging one to find and thread that needle, because they have very, very tough restrictions. It's like front end of 29 and a back end of 41, and anything outside of that is really squirrely. And then you've got the income restrictions. I mean, really, unless you're going to go ahead and drop a fifth wheel on the property and wait for the construction to be done so that you're not paying rent somewhere else,
Right.
probably not going to find
Not
a lot of opportunities for that. But they'll do up to a double wide. They'll do modular. They'll do stick built. So they're a little bit more flexible.
What about utilities on that? Do they make them go ahead and, like, there has to be utilities already there, or is that can be thrown in with the loan? Because, we have a lot of
Thrown in
rural
with the loan.
places.
Throwing a loan. So the contractors,
Even with like a well?
contractors going to be qualified up front with the project and everything, and they're going to understand the specs of the county because they've obviously done something in the county, and that's their experience with it. And so they're helping with the quote and whatnot. And then once it's all approved by them, it's go. So
that's
really
awesome.
the best thing to do is, if you're a builder, get qualified now with your credentials, and then that way it's just a project by project instead of project and qualifying the company.
Right.
It'll make it a lot faster of a process. So if you guys are listening and you guys are interested in any of these, platforms, come over. I'll send you the government and the conventional OTCs, and then we'll fill them out, send them in, get you approved, and then just finding a buyer with the right land.
Because that don't cost a builder anything, right?
to run the qualification?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. It's
So it's like
some financials, just making sure that this project and the event that
experience and all that.
experience. We just want to make sure, and this is also a protection for the buyer. We want to make sure that the contractors that are chosen, this project, let's just say they ran into something and one of their dozers pulled up, the 3-phase power line that they just put in the ground, and it's their responsibility to fix that repair is not going to kill that company. Because if they fold, then your project doesn't get completed. You don't have a home, and here it is, you got a loan on it. So we want to make sure that the contractor is, doing well enough to where that project's not going to kill them.
Well, wouldn't that be covered under their insurance?
Sure, it could be covered under their insurance, but there's some if you're running super lean and your bank account only has
Yeah.
$200 in it at the end of the month every single month, then
Fair.
Be tough.
what happens when we get behind on maybe say a timeline and you need to have some overtime with your guys because rain and
Right.
all
Yeah,
the things.
for uncontrollable
and then,
circumstances.
and then you're saying I can't afford to pay them overtime.
Yeah. It's kind of like how franchise do their business too. It's like, you can buy the rights to the franchise and open your franchise, but you also have to have reserve funds in case you have a couple bad years. So you're not, because that would be bad for the franchise if one opens and closes right away so there's
It also
restrictions
helps
on
us
that, too.
understand the lock parameters. So if you've got a company that has plenty of experience in knocking something down, say double wide in 3 months, then we might be looking at a 3-month construction to perm lock for you. Now, if this is somebody that maybe hasn't done it as often and maybe resources are a little bit different, subcontracting is a little bit more challenging at that time, they're going to be able to say, hey, look, we know you can do it in 3 months, but it's probably going to pour into 4, so we're probably going to be looking at the 6-month lock option. Just to protect our buyers. So they're really looking at, what have you done? What are the timelines? What size company? How many people are you planning on putting on the job? So we can realistically help our borrower not accrue any additional fees
now
that aren't unnecessary.
what's the benefit of that to the builder or to the contractor?
They get the business.
Okay. Yeah.
If
Absolutely.
you don't get qualified and whatnot, then you're not building a new construction where you're the GC, which every contractor loves to control the job site. You're not the GC, and you're able to determine how things go for your own profitability. Otherwise, you're going to have to go find smaller projects that aren't requiring, something like this. And so, you make a lot more in building a home than you do putting up fences.
Absolutely.
All right. Got any listings? Anything you want to talk about?
I've got that listing over on South Military, south of the square. Of course, it was built in 1900 and remodeled a few years ago.
Is it the white one?
Uh huh.
I love that one.
It's
so
beautiful.
Love
It's
that one.
beautiful. It's just,
And we'll
know.
get the right person in there soon,
Yeah.
I think.
I think so too.
Then that's
There's a couple showings on it, isn't there?
we had one yesterday.
Awesome.
And then we got land over in Clifton for 40,000, and then we've got
How many acres?
8 acres. And then we've got land in West Point on Water Tower Road for 22,000, or it's 21,900, and it's like 3/4 of an acre. It's like a really good location though. Like you're really close to
Yeah. Is there like
the
a gold mine on that one?
NATRA. Huh?
Is there like a gold mine on that one?
No, out in the country. And he will do owner financing.
Oh, that's unique.
Yeah.
You don't normally hear about that with land.
Is there
Well, it's
Access
actually owner finance. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
is there a water access and all of that, or just at the road?
No, there's electric at the road. There is no water, so you don't have to put a well. I've tried to talk to the water people down there to see about if they could get water out there. I think it would be a little bit difficult to get it.
And no septic.
It'd have to put in a septic.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a building on it that's already like wired for electric. So, pretty cool place.
What do you got?
Well, we lowered our price on Commerce Street, and I've got an offer on it.
Yay.
Nice.
Hopefully you go under contract today.
Well, there's issues that I've got
Of
to
course.
address after this podcast.
Love it, love it. If it was
Uh-huh.
easy, everybody do it.
Do they need to flip to a rehab loan?
Well, I don't have the buyer. I've got the seller, and yeah, he's special. So,
Okay.
there we go.
He's special.
He's
Talk
special.
about listings, rental listings.
Huh?
We got rental listings.
Yeah.
We've got some 2 bedrooms. I think a 1 bedroom. So houses and
We got a 3-bedroom. There's a 3-bedroom house for rent.
oh, there is a 3 bedroom. There's a lot of people wanting one of those.
We have one of those. So
Is it,
yes,
Is it 3-1 or 3-2?
3-1.
How much do those
Which one's the 3-1?
normally?
I don't know. It's on that little piece of paper,
Okay.
and I forgot to bring that little piece of paper.
Because that's like the perfect size for like a small family.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have my stepbrother is asking if we had a 3, so I need to find that out too. I need to let him know.
Okay. All right. And then I've got the listing on 6th Street. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. Brick home on a corner lot, nice yard. It's got a side yard, not much of a backyard. But original hardwood floors. They could use some sanding and stuff, but updated cabinets. It'd be a great little starter home or a rental. But it's available and negotiable. And that's all I have right now. So,
Okay.
all right. Well, contact information.
You can reach me. I'm Holly Kevins. You can reach me at 931-345-2406.
Oh, you can reach me, Pat Bradley, here at the office at 1288 First Avenue behind McDonald's and Burger King. And you can call me direct at 931-345-2736 or call the office at 931-762-4247.
You can reach me at 931-345-2870.
Kyle.
You can reach me with smoke signals or call me at 757-717-5806.
You can reach me almost any day now at Flora Mid-South Realty office, or you can call my cell phone directly at 931-271-5790. You can Google Teresa Flora, and I'll show up everywhere. And that's it.
Well, when you Google Pat Bradley, you get a golfer, a lady golfer.
Well, when I was married to Jim, there was Jim and Teresa Flora. And when you Google Jim and Teresa Flora, we were missionaries down in the South America somewhere. So yeah. But anyway, all right. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Everybody say bye.
Bye.